Thank you. Good morning. My name is Russ Dickerson. I'm with the University of Maryland, but I'm speaking on my own behalf. I like this picture because it's the NASA P-3 research aircraft during Discover AQ campaign conducted over the mid-Atlantic states in the summer of 2011. And that picture was shot from the University of Maryland research aircraft. We have a Cessna. Our pockets aren't quite as deep as NASA's. But both of these aircraft were chock full of research instruments, and they're flying in formation at this point to make sure we're on the same page with respect to calibrations. In the middle of that picture, you'll see a little power plant on the eastern shore. So what's been the result of all of this, what we hope is policy-relevant science? Next slide, please. Oh, I can do it. These are the exceedance days over the past few decades for a combination of Baltimore and Washington. And you can see that we're making excellent progress. Why have we made this progress? I like to think that it's because the science has helped guide policy. And there should be some of these little lenticulars that look like postcards that have been passed around. They are NASA observations of NO2, the thing that produces ozone. And you can see from this lenticular that we've made good progress. The concentrations in 2005 were quite a bit higher than they were in 2010. So we're making good progress, but we're not there yet. You will notice that in the last couple of years, there are still a substantial number of exceedances in the Baltimore-Washington area. So my main point would be that ozone at concentrations of 60 to 70 parts per billion is harmful, causing morbidity and mortality. This is what the standard should be. It's the best science available, and that's my recommendation. It is absolutely true that natural processes, as my colleague Mr. Oltmans has indicated, are important. And as a research scientist, I've flown through these events and seen them. They happen. But I have never seen one in the eastern United States in my 20 years of flying through ozone events that has come down below about 10,000 feet altitude. So for the vast majority of non-attainment sites, these are not important. They are, however, important for the Intermountain West. Okay, what is background ozone? This is an image. I'm an experimentalist, so I'm always skeptical of models, but some models are useful. And this is one that's useful, and it shows what the background concentrations of ozone are. How much ozone would we have if there were no emissions in America? And the hotter the color, the higher the concentration of ozone here. So this model makes sense with respect to observations. You can see that in springtime, there's a substantial amount of ozone, especially at high altitudes. In the summer, it's less. And if you look at the U.S. east of the Rocky Mountains, those concentrations are really pretty modest. So I think we can achieve higher standards. There is a mechanism in existence called exceptional events. I sympathize with the difficulty of getting those. The state of Maryland was successful in getting one. It was not easy. EPA has begun streamlining that process. Oh, and the NASA team, of which I'm a member, that generated these lenticulars, called the Applied Sciences, the Air Quality Applied Sciences team, is prepared to provide support at no expense to the states to help explain natural events, forest fires, and so on, using in situ and remotely sensed data. So, so that mechanism is in place, and that's appropriate for dealing with exceptional events. Now, for the eastern United States, certainly where I have most of my experience, there are certainly pollution sources that can be controlled. There are some power plants still using the technology of the 60s. ICI, industrial, commercial, institutional boilers that are uncontrolled, even agricultural processes that with judicious application and good agricultural practices could help reduce nitric oxide, ozone precursor emissions to the atmosphere. However, in order for these to be effective, we will have to realize that air pollution episodes are much larger in scope than a single small eastern state. We'll need to consider the entire eastern U.S. as one large airshed. So in conclusion, I will say that I agree with tightening the standards. I don't think it's appropriate to punish the people of urban areas in the eastern United States by maintaining looser standards. We've made a lot of progress, but as Robert Frost said, we have promises to keep and miles to go before we sleep. Thank you. Thank you.